Bought her expensive new fabrics. She said she wanted, I got it. Claim that she living all lavish. You know I got it, I promise.
What's up, Central Coast Slaps fam? We here with the guy, the one and only DannyV. How you feeling today? Thank you for coming in.
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Feeling good. Got a show coming up. Just did a show. Had a couple songs drops. So, yeah, feeling good. Got the good momentum right now, yeah.
I saw that you had a show recently, actually, but got canceled.
Yeah, dude. That was bad. I was just telling Josh right now. So we had this show lined up. It was this month in January. And I had all these things lined up. I had studio session rehearsals. Yeah. I had Airbnbs booked. I had my boys from Brunch Boys coming through from Florida.
Damn. I
had all these things lined up, you know, and I put a couple dollars down on the merch to sell it, but you know, I didn't fall through, but you know, I had that backup plan. Ended up just moving everything online. Sold everything that I needed to online. Got that second show ready. And yeah, it's all good to go now.
So what's up, man? Let's hear about you. Like, you know, where you from? You know, what got you into this whole thing? Because I think this last, like, 6 months is where I saw you really popping off and, you know, getting on, you know, the Central Coast Slaps radar.
Yeah, definitely. So I think, I mean, really it all just started back when I was in high school. You know, I feel like this is kind of just a story I tell a lot. It all started when we had these kind of free computers given to, like, all the students and all that. And I first downloaded this one like beat making app that my friend told me to download. He's like, "Yo, download this beat making app or whatever," and I was like, "Say less." So I downloaded it, and really I just started making beats, you know, in class with the school computers and all that. And I think around that time I was like, might have been like 15, 16, but I had already had FL Studio on my laptop, and I was like cooking up beats on my sister's laptop or my dad's laptop. But it wasn't until that I got the Google Chromebooks, which is what they give to like every student in high school, and started making beats there. From there, you know, we kind of just moved on to, I was like, yo, I need to buy my own laptop. So pretty much got my first job. I was like around 18 at this point, saved up like five paychecks, get my first laptop. I still have it to this day. And yeah, all the beats kind of just came through there, and slowly.
So you tell me when you first got started, you were making all the beats.
Yeah. I was just really making beats back then in the day. Like I really like, you know, started taking like the beat thing seriously when I graduated high school. So I was like around 18 at the time. You know, that's when I got my job, and that's when I started making beats on my own laptop. And, you know, I just kind of started making beats like here and there. And I had one of my friends just like hit me up, "Hey, you got some beats?" And it was just kind of like a local rapper at the time. And that's how I started selling my beats, you know, for $20, $40. Like it was really low at the time. And, you know, progressively it just started getting better, started doing a lot of videos on Twitter. And then it was just one day that I did like a video where I sampled Lion King. And I took a video of it, got like 1K likes, just popped off like that. And from there, that's when I started getting connections from like Atlanta, Chicago, got a couple of artists from Hawaii. And that's how the whole like beat thing started. I kind of just built this connection of up and coming artists. And slowly but surely it kind of built its way up into recording artists. And then eventually it came to like, all right, I need to buy my own mic. I need to learn how to engineer vocals. I need to, if they need like a quick video, like I need to bring a camera or something. So it was like, I started bringing everything with me. I started bringing the equipment, and I was just charging them. But really it just eventually got to a point where, you know, I didn't really feel like doing it for other people. I figured they were really good, and, you know, they were skilled on their own, but I felt like I was really just trying to help other people get bigger. But at the end of the day, like I saw myself as the person that wanted to, you know, grow as not only a producer but as an artist. So I started dabbling a little bit into recording vocals on my own. And then since I already had that background of engineering my own vocals, it was just easy to grab that mic, record, make the beat, record it, engineer it, and then from there I had a basically like a rough draft of what I wanted to take it to when I got to the engineer that would finalize everything. So it was definitely a process, you know, and it was definitely a natural one too. It was never really like never a forced thing. I never forced myself to, you know, hop on the mic.
Yeah, because when I'm listening to you and listening to, you know, I hear a lot of beginning artists, and like I got, you know, the advantage of seeing a lot of artists from where they started off to like where they are now.
Yeah.
And like when I first heard your first EP or, you know, mini album, I was like, goodness, this is his first hit at like, you know, going into the rap game and the R&B game. Like, this is crazy because most people don't understand, like, to get your voice at that level, to have it, you know, sounding that good always, like, you know, it's much respect from my side because, like, I know how hard that is. And do you think that's because, you know, you're producing a little bit, you know, you were, like, messing with, you know, recording people, so you kind of understood how, like, you wanted to sound and kind of got the more back end of it, or?
Yeah, 100%. It was definitely that, but for me, when I came into this, I knew that I had to come in super strong. I think one thing that's definitely like overlooked when like coming into whatever you want to see, like the rap game or being an artist, you have to have a really strong foundation, because at the end of the day, people are always going to reference back like, oh, how did he come up? Like, if I'm out here putting, you know, regular or like half-ass songs, people are going to be like, that's what they're going to remember from you. And be like, oh, he put out that one song. Why am I going to listen to that next one? So for me, the first song I put out, I needed to give people a reason to want to listen to me in the first place. And that was that same mentality that I had when I was making beats. I had been making beats, you know, like I said, 2 years prior on school computers, on other people's computers, whether if it was like my dad's or my sister's computer. And for those to be 2 years, I never put out nothing because I knew it was garbage and like they were kind of joke of a beat. So eventually when I realized I was good, I was like, okay, I'm gonna put that first beat on SoundCloud and then see how it reacts, and then so on and so forth, and we'll experiment with different things. I did the same thing. So at that point, maybe I was like 21 at the time. I was recording other people and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this. So I did it for a year. I wrote almost, I would say like 2 albums worth of music before I dropped a song. So that's why when you heard that first EP, you heard that like almost quality and a sense of, you know, like reassurance that what I was putting out, I was confident about. So, you know, the reason why it sounds like that was because I gave myself a year to, you know, kind of like figure things out for myself, experiment with voices, experiment with certain beats. And then eventually when I realized I knew I had a good song to come into when it was just something that I can listen to like over and over again. And that song right there, it was called Toxic. And that's the one that my first song got 10K streams. And it was really just like a couple of days or a couple of weeks back that it just hit that number. And that was literally a year ago today.
That's wild.
So it was like, since that year, I had all the songs drop. I had music videos drop. I had the shows. I had all these things lined up in just a matter of all that time because I took the like patience and, you know, the time to perfect it before I felt that it was ready to be listened to.
Yeah, because I think the first time I saw like a video thing of you was the Daylight, or that video
Daylight.
when you're sitting in that field, and I was like, oh, this cat's cold. And then I saw you go on that challenge against Nelly Starr.
Yeah.
And you were going at it, and I think you won the first round, and then, you know, she got you in the second round, whatever that was. But then you're like, I'm from Watsonville, and she's like, I'm from the 831 too. I was like, that's crazy. Like, I never even heard of bro before, but now, like, man, this past year, names are popping up all kinds. I see him rubbing shoulders. I went to your guys' concert over there in the Catalyst.
Definitely.
Was that your first show?
No, so it was pretty dope how I like worked my way up to all these like, well, I wouldn't say I'm getting like a crazy amount of shows, but it's just kind of like consistent. So really it all started off, I started doing shows at a UFC gym. That was my first time I ever like performed in front of people. And even then it was people who were working out. They were just there to do their own thing, and I was over here just like rapping, you know, like they're getting the workout, and I'm like, yo. I was like, check me out really quick, you know what I mean?
They're like, man, I'm trying to check out this weight.
Yeah, for real. But
bench.
I really just got that opportunity from my homie Diz, who's a rapper out from San Jose, and we went to college together. So he gave me that first connection, and it was a really good opportunity because, you know, it helped me build like that character and just kind of like the attitude that I'm not gonna care regardless of what these people think, you know. And from there, after I did the UFC gym, I worked my way up to a brewery. So I kind of was building up this confidence to be in front of people. Yeah. So this brewery, they were having an event. It was a shout out to the Sloop Brewing Company. Yeah. It's in Watsonville. And it was like their 1 year anniversary. So I had known the owner since I was like a little kid. And he's like, yo, you want to perform? And I was like, say less, you know? So I had already performed at the UFC gym 3 times out in Sunnyvale. And so now I was moving up to the brewery. So I got to the brewery. I did my show. Now I was starting to see more people, you know? I was starting to see more faces. I had like, it went from like being like 0 to like 3 or 4 at the UFC to then it was like 14 people, you know, at the brewery. So it was like slowly I was just kind of building my way up. And this was in the span of like the last couple of months because all this started a year back. Then I did that. So I was like, all right, I got to work my way into like some sort of venue. You know, I need to kind of be taken a little more seriously. Like I'm not just out here doing these outdoor events in these places. So then eventually I started to hit up a bunch of these venues or bars in Santa Cruz, and I was like, look, I'm trying to get in here, you know. You can trust me, like I'll bring in people, I'll make sales, you know, we'll make a good amount of money together if we partner up. So the first place I hit up was Blue Lagoon, and at first they didn't want to let me in. They were like, yo, like, I don't know, you know, this is kind of more of a like a band kind of place. Like we don't really have like rappers here. And I was like, trust me, like you guys won't regret this. I'll bring people. And as a compromise, I was like, I'll bring a band. So the lineup will be like a band and a rapper and like another rapper, you know? So
people don't understand the hustle, right?
Yeah.
Artists, if you're listening, this is how you get a show.
Yeah, for real. And like a lot of people after that were like, yo, how did you get in there? Like, I was like, you know, emailed this guy every single day. Cause at first he's like, nah, it's cool. But like now we're cool. We got a good connection because he knows like I really wanted it badly. I really wanted to get my name in there. Cause at the time, like I didn't really have any credible like people to be like, oh yeah, he's gonna like, you know, bring people here for sure. So eventually, like, you know, he budged and he's like, all right, I'll let you in. You know, you got a band with you and, you know, you seem like you really want to get in here. So eventually he gave me that spot, did the show, and it was like a crazy turnout. It was like, so now we were like from 3 to 14 to then now we're like 50 deep at least. I had that place like maybe like halfway full. Like if it was like the front to the back, like half of it was just like pure
people. Is that
people.
the little snippet I seen, you know, with people, you know, singing to your music, you know, that's crazy. It
was crazy. I had like, at this point, like people were singing back the lyrics, not to just like one, to like a handful of songs. They were singing it back at this point. So I was like, damn, this is crazy. And then, you know, a lot of people seen that video, and one of the people that saw it was Ant Dog, and Ant Dog's another rapper from the 831. Like he's from Santa Cruz area. Yeah. Shout out to him. He was having a show, you know, around that time, and he was like, yo, it'd be dope if I could have you like as a special guest to have like do one song. And I was like, say less. Like I'm down to do one song or two, whatever. Like any opportunity to get my face in the Catalyst for sure, because that was a big step up from that. You know, and
legendary spot right there.
Yeah, definitely. It's just one of those spots growing up that I was like, yo, I want to get in here. And it was in one of my goals. Like I was like, I'm gonna perform at the Catalyst. I was like, I don't know how, because I was still working my way up. And at this point, I thought I was only gonna do one song, and then the guy that was supposed to open up for him couldn't make it last minute. So he's like, it was like a last minute thing. He's like, hey, you want to do a full set? And I was like, say less. Like I'm down, you know, I'm ready. I was fresh off the Blue Lagoon show. I was feeling myself, like I was feeling good. I was ready to do the next one. So we did that show, and I was the opener, and like it was dope. Like there was definitely a lot of people there, and it was like more of a actual like venue as opposed to like Blue Lagoon was more of a bar / kind of club. So like I was at a, you know, that
people wanting to take pictures and get autographs and shit after.
It was crazy, honestly. That was definitely like one of the crazier shows for sure.
There was hella hoes there and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. I got some stories about that, but I mean, yeah, after that, it was really just, you know, people were starting to see it more, and like eventually I got an opportunity to perform at another club, or like it's like a it's like a lounge. It's called the Red Room. It's like just kind of another club in Santa Cruz. And yeah, now I'm just kind of, my goal is to work my way to like cities like San Jose. I really want to do a show out here in Salinas, because the way I want to do it is like, I'm actually going to look at my numbers on SoundCloud or Spotify, and it gives me all the stats of like, where are my listeners coming from. So from there I can gauge and see like, if I do a show here, are people actually going to come through?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, definitely those cities I'm seeing is like, Sacramento is a big one for sure. I would love to do like a show in Oakland. You know, San Jose, that one's definitely going to come up soon. I got another artist that is going to hook me up with like something out there. And Salinas, you know, I'm still getting more connected with people out here. So I see all those shows happening, you know, definitely within this year. I mean,
so anybody you've been like, you know, working with on the down low, you got an EP coming out, or like what's up with, you know, some new music?
So right now I'm working a lot with my homie Rose. He's coming out from San Jose.
Jose, right?
Yeah, he's really dope. I just sent out a couple of beats to Ant-Dog. I didn't send him like 4 beats that he's already got on, so we got that in the works. I just joined a group with the Underdogs.
Hold on, pause. You joined the Underdogs.
Yeah,
you were talking about that before.
Yeah, it was
when did
crazy.
that happen?
When did that happen? That happened.
Shout out Arsol and the whole Underdog movement.
Shout out Arsol, Iron Chef
all those
Weeze.
guys, Iron Chef Weeze, they all go crazy, man.
The
Huge
videographer, like the whole team.
Yeah.
Like,
I have huge respect for that whole Underdog movement.
Yeah. They're crazy.
Iron Chef Weeze, Arsol, and I think there's a couple more in the Underdog movement, but like they go wild.
Yeah, it's a whole collective right there for sure. And you know, that really just happened a couple of weeks back. Not too long after I released the Dreams music video where I was at the beach. And, you know, Arsol was telling me, you know, he's seen like the work ethic, and he's seen like all the content I've been putting out. And, you know, it's really just like a team. And at this point, I haven't even met any of them. Like, it's just like...
You haven't met Arsol in person?
Nah, like, we've been meaning to link up, but like, you know, he's out here like going out to like Chicago and doing all these things, shooting these music videos, but he's recording. He just dropped his album, or like his mixtape. And, you know, he's on the grind for sure. Like, I see him working all the time, and, you know, I felt like seeing his work ethic and seeing everyone else on that team was like, it was only the right move to like, you know, be a part of that team and, you know, start making content with them, whether it's beats, videos, or songs. You know, I want to be a part of that, and I want to grow with them and whoever else it may be. But aside from that, other artists that I want to work with that are from out here, or like Salinas, I definitely want to work with Güero. He's really dope. Another dope artist from Salinas, his name's Tommy Paris. I think he's really dope. His whole crew got like a cool thing going on.
Sig West and all them.
Sig West, they're hard. And yeah, like pretty much that's everyone that off tops that I want to collab with. You know, and just everyone else that I think makes content out here is just really, I feel like it's just a growing platform for everyone, you know? Like, you have Josh with the videos, you have Art by Jay doing all these, like, all this art for, like, damn near the whole Central Coast.
Yeah,
like, all these rappers.
Art by Jay right there. That's
so, it's definitely, like, a booming thing, and I feel like everyone's growing individually with their own team. So, you know, if we can all just, you know, some way, like, collab, whether it's one with the other, it's like everyone else is just bound to grow from there. So I'm excited to see everyone else grow, honestly. Like, it's dope to watch, and it keeps me motivated for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, especially like, you know, the videographers out here have been killing it. Like,
yeah, for real.
Josh Boy, Arsol, you know, the DB visuals, and like seeing how much music's coming out the scene is wild right now.
It's crazy for sure. Yeah, and like another I think person that I overlooked for sure also is like the people that are on my team that are helping me shoot like my visuals too as well. I have my boy Chris Vargas.
Is he from Florida, you were telling me?
Yeah,
right?
he's from Florida, but he's originally from out here.
The Ville is what you guys like to call it?
So he's got like his own production company. It's called La Selva Films. And you know, it's kind of like also like one of those like one-man team, you know, he's shooting it, but a lot of the times it's my homie,
God,
like
Joshy boy.
Yeah, my homie A-Bomb, my homie Gio, all these people are helping me, you know, put these videos together and the pictures, they're giving me like scheduling advice, because all this is just all about planning. And the reason I feel like I've been able to, you know, do these consistent drops with everything is, I mean, not only like being locked in like in the studio a lot with like different people, but also having a team around you and making sure that, you know, they got you on your schedule, so that, you know, you're just always being pushed and you're kind of just going to grow like that.
Yeah, because being an artist and trying to do everything by yourself is super difficult to do.
Yeah.
Having, like, you know, people there be like, hey, bro, you're slacking, or hey, you need to get on top of it. That's why I look like, you know, it's super cool to see the Lavish video, because that was high production, you know, that. I liked the whole video. The song, you killed it on that song.
Thank you.
Did you make the beat also on that?
Yeah, I made the beat on that. It was actually, that was like one of my favorite beats I made like last year, 2020. It was, I made the beat from scratch. It was, I had this one like little sample from this website. It's called Sematics. And I just basically laid out all the samples out. I put the drums. It was crazy, actually. There's like a little backstory to that song. So at the time I was like about to graduate, and I had like finals or whatever. And I had like 2 hours, and keep in mind I had not studied at all for this like final. But I had heard the sample for Lavish, and I was like, yo, I got 2 hours to make this beat. So it took me 1 hour to make the beat, and I recorded the song, and then I took the final. And I was like, I didn't study for it, but I passed it. But it was crazy, because I was like, when I made the Lavish beat, I was just like, this has to be done like right now. Because I was just, and it was just one of those songs that I had been holding on to for like a cool minute. But when I had the right visuals for it and everything, I think I already knew it was time to drop that one. And I just have a lot of those in the vault right now, where it was just like, I made this maybe like a year back. And like you're hearing it now, but I really wanted to just create the rollout really perfect so that it's not overlooked. Because I think a lot of the times, you know, you can make a really good song, but if you don't have the proper rollout for it, it could get overlooked.
Do you think in Watsonville, did you see many artists, you know, growing up out there, or like?
Yeah.
Like I know you went to school at Cabasa. I heard.
Yeah, it was Cabasa. So like it was we actually, so let's like backtrack. When I was making beats on the school computers, he was definitely like one of those people that was like around when I was first making beats, and we actually made like a mixtape back when we were like around 18, 19. And we released it back then, but it was some of my first early production, and it was some of his first, you know, early like writing and rapping. So it was crazy. Definitely like he did that, and then, you know, he moved out to LA, and he was going to school and all that, and then I was doing my own thing, and it was crazy because it was just like we both he definitely grew, like he got that. He was always on the rap game, and I was more on the production side. So it's dope, you know, like seeing him grow, and then kind of just coming into like the whole scene of the music as an artist. It's dope to see, because like now I think we're both two growing artists from the same city. And there's definitely like a lot of other artists in our city. Like there's another artist, his name's CG Raid. He's really dope. And just aside from artists, there's a lot of dope creatives in the city right now that I think, you know, with like the proper guidance, they're definitely gonna start moving up on their way. But, you know, at the forefront of everything, I definitely like see us two growing and, you know, providing like a good spotlight for the city.
No, that's dope, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the whole thing move.
Definitely.
So if you could work with any artist right now in the world, dead or alive, who would it be?
Dead or alive? I think it would probably have to be, that's a good question. Probably Nipsey Hussle. Yeah, he was dope. I think one of my favorite artists right now from like the West Coast kind of like sound is Blast.
Wow.
That's like, if I could get a collab with Blast, like I'm gonna look back at this video and be like, oh yeah, I got that feature, or like, you know, I hopped on, like definitely like within the next 2 to 3 years, I'd want to collaborate.
Hey, you heard it here first. 2 to 3 years.
It's gonna happen. Manifesting it right now.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So Dead or Alive, you saying Nipsey, and if one right now would be Blast.
Yeah, for sure. Or if not, I mean, the list really goes on. I have a whole list in my head.
Who's your female crush though? You gotta have a female artist.
Kehlani, easily. That's another dream collab, and I mean, come on now.
He's like more than a dream collab.
Yeah, Kehlani. I really like her music. I remember when I dropped the Daylight video, I was like tagging her and like trying to get her on the feature. That'd be a dope collab.
Oh, hell yeah. The more girls you bring to the show, the more
I mean, I love
guys will come.
I love my women, honestly. Like, I feel that I don't like make my music geared towards a specific gender or however they want to identify. I just think I'll just make, music that I like to make, and doing that has in result brought a lot of females, just, I don't know, naturally, I guess. Like, I'm not making these songs with the intention to do that, but it's just like it's just fun making like melodic songs for sure. I think that's like my favorite kind of genre to make right now, just because it's fun. It's very playful. Yeah. And but don't get me wrong, like I can if I need to rap, I will rap.
Yeah, I learned that at the cypher. Yeah. I told him to come through, and I was like, man, I haven't really heard him rap yet, but I'm gonna see what he could do on the cypher. Yeah. He came busting.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, I feel like it's you have to be versatile in this industry. Definitely. You don't want to restrict yourself to one genre. You want to be able to make multiple, and you want to be able to get on any type of beats. And like I said, for that year, I was practicing and making sure I was able to do that. Yeah. But even aside from making melodic songs, I do have songs that are more on the more rap side. Like, I have East Lake Flows on Still Searching for DannyV. I have Woodlawn Heights, Lord Knows. That one's melodic, but it's kind of rappy. But yeah, I think moving forward, when I start dropping more, you'll start to see those songs. But I think this next couple of months, you're going to see all the singing songs. Because I have this next project coming out. It's called Lost and Found. And it's really the continuation to Still Searching for DannyV, the concept of, in the beginning I was really just finding myself and just trying to figure it all out. And, when you're looking for something, where do you look for? Yeah. You look in Lost and Found. Yeah. So this next tape, since, Still Searching for DannyV was more of a rap, this next one's going to be more R&B and singing. So I think that I was able to deliver that Daylight song, and I think people wanted more from that, Yeah. So I think this next project is going to be that project that people are going to be able to with when they want those kinds of, that kind of vibe or those kinds of songs. So I'm definitely looking forward to putting that out. But, with the shows coming up, and I got a couple of, singles coming out, I'm going to focus on pushing that first. And then moving forward, and probably towards the end of February, early March, I'll be dropping the Lost and Found tape. So
what's up? You said you met Nipsey before, you were telling me?
Yeah, I met Nipsey at a So Fresh clothing store out in Santa Cruz. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, I was waiting outside of the store, and he came in. He had 5 gold chains on. It was crazy. I went with my homie. Walked up to the table, and I was like, yo, what's good, Nip? I'm a big fan, I was a little kid at the time, and I was just I was making beats, and I told him, I was I'm gonna work with you one day. It's I feel he hears that 1,000 times. Yeah. But when he passed, it was just it hit me. I was damn. A lot of, I feel lately, just a lot of, you kind of been seeing a lot of artists passing, and Definitely. It's kind of becoming one of those things that happen a lot more frequent than it should. And I feel when Nipsey died, it was just one of those ones that hit me. I was damn, because I feel early on, it was when I just started listening to rap, it was a lot of Jay-Z and your Wiz Khalifa, when you're in middle school, Currency. And then, but around that time is when I got into Nipsey, and just listening to all those mixtapes throughout high school, The Marathon Continues, And then like his like last album, Victory Labs, it was just one of those ones that I felt like was a big inspiration to me. So I was bummed. So that's why I said, like, if there was anyone that I'd want to work with, like, dead or alive, it'd definitely be him. Because I never got the chance to do it. Or I never got the chance to work my way up to a position like that, you know?
That's super crazy. With beats, like how you were saying, do you think, you know, that's kind of like a direction you want to, like it's hard to pursue, you know, the artists and the beats right now that you're doing both, which is like, there's like Russ who does it, there's a couple artists that do all three. The
Blast does it too.
Yeah, like, Blast, I know he does that too, makes his own beats. I'm not sure if he records his own self, but like, he does all that stuff too. So, saying that is like, as an artist, do you ever use your beats as like the foot in the door and then like, hey, I'm an artist too?
Actually, I don't. What I do a lot, I learned early on actually, and I think like if you're a producer listening, like I think you should, it's worth noting, like I don't think you should, or this is just my opinion, you shouldn't try to chase like these big placements. Or like you should, but don't make that your priority. Because I feel like a lot of the times, you know, you're going to be let down sometimes, you know, when you sent that beat to that artist and then, you know, they might have recorded on it and then they don't end up using it at the end of the day. It happens a lot. And, you know, I know a lot of producers that, you know, wait on that moment, that big break. And sometimes, you know, you'll have like that recognition for a couple of months but eventually it's just it's gonna fade. I think for me early on with the beats is, obviously I was chasing placements, you know, I was sending my beats to, you know, every email that I could find and, you know, someone I'd get lucky and some not. I mean, I never really had like a big placement like that. But I learned that, you know, it's better to build a connection with an artist and grow with an artist, you know, whether it's your homie or like the local rapper in your city. I think it's better to do that because now you have like this connection with this person and it's like no matter how big or wherever they get in their career, they're always going to have you on the side as your producer. Like that's my main producer that I want to work with. And also they don't have to be from your city, but I think it's important to find a connection, a musical connection with anyone, no matter what city it is. And that's why it's important to branch out. Like my homie's Still Searching, you know, he hit me up when I did that video on Twitter that got like hella likes and retweets. And he hit me up and he was from Florida. And at the time we were just sending each other beats. But we have that connection now where it's like, if I need a beat, he's going to send it to me, you know? And like, since the first drop, it's like, he gave me a beat and I'm going to hop on it. And it's like, I'm going to always have that connection no matter like where I get in my career. And I think as a producer, you know, it's something worth taking into consideration. Learn to build connections with the upcoming artists in your city. And you're going to slowly build a bigger, like, let's say like build more connections with different rappers because it's going to be a word of mouth kind of thing, as opposed to like if you're kind of not really well known and you're out here like emailing these people that are like out here and you don't know anyone in your city, like how you expect to work your way up into like more people and more sales? Because as a producer you also want to make money, you know, and if you're only getting these big placements every like 6 months or 4 months, it's like, would you have like a big amount or would you have a consistent amount weekly? And you can put your beats up on BeatStars or TrackTrain, whatever, SoundCloud, or just send it to them directly. And then from there, it's like if you know a rapper from San Jose, that San Jose rapper might know someone from LA, and that LA rapper might know a couple of labels. So I'm kind of backtracking, you know. Yeah, I wouldn't say I used my beats to like get my foot in the door as an artist, but that doesn't mean like I stopped selling beats, you know. Like I think now a lot of people I notice hit me up like, yo, you made that Lavish beat, or yo, you made that beat, or whatever the Like It beat. And so I think I have used my artistry as a leverage to sell more beats, because now I'm using my voice as an example of what your voice could sound like on a beat like mine.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's more vice versa. I've used my artistry to make more sales with the beats as opposed to using my beats more to sell as an artist.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never even thought about it like that way.
Yeah, it's actually like, it's really probably like overlooked, I think, That's a really good way to sell your own beats. I've seen like a lot of producers who are mainly producers just rap on their beats kind of like whatever, and then in doing so they've been able to sell more beats. Because I noticed a lot like early on that if you're a rapper, just naturally you're gonna get more plays than a producer would. Like, let's say I'm a producer, I put my song on my beat on SoundCloud, I'll probably get like 300. But because I'm an artist, I have an instrumental and I have vocals. People really aren't gonna go out of the way like, oh, I'm gonna listen to this DannyV beat. You know what I mean? Like, and that was actually kind of my mentality coming in. Like, when I was like, what if I get on my beat? Maybe I can sell more beats.
Well, maybe you make a bunch of like type beats, like like Drake type beat, this type beat.
You could do that for sure. There's pros and cons to that, I think. One, I don't think you want to be categorized, or you don't really want to be like a type beat artist, because then you don't have your own original sound, right? You're like emulating someone else, like Pierre Bourne or whoever's popping, Metro Boomin. It's like pros and cons to doing that. That's also like you put a lot of the type beats I seen. Like, trust me, there's like a lot of things that I put thought into, like, as a producer early on, is like, if I'm gonna put my type beats, generally you're gonna put them on YouTube. You put them on YouTube, what are rappers gonna do? They're gonna YouTube to MP3 that beat, drop the song on SoundCloud, and then you're not gonna get paid off of that.
Yeah.
But there's certain ways to do it, where you can put your beat on track or BeatStars, and then from there, you kind of like put your tags all crazy on the beat. But honestly, like, as an artist, now, like, being on the other side of the spectrum, I'm seeing that when I'm, like, looking for beats, I don't want to hear, like, hella tags on the beat. Or, like, I don't want to hear, like, the beat, like, dropping volume, like, halfway. Like, if you got beats, just send them to my email, and, like, that way, like, you can pinpoint who has your beats and who's using them. As opposed to creating type beats, you're putting them on YouTube, you're going to get a bunch of people downloading them for free, and they're going to steal it, which happens a lot. And there's always only going to be like a handful of people that are going to go about it the right way professionally and, exclusive it or lease it. But that's just like the percentage of people you're getting actually exclusive and leasing is probably a lot smaller than the amount of people downloading it illegally.
Would you say that, like, now you joining the Underdogs team, like, how does that all work out? Because, my bad, excuse me. I'm interested is, like, the Underdogs teams that just like, hey, we're a movement together, we all, rock together, we all support each other. Is it like, hey, we're the Underdogs team, so, like, if you need a video or if they need a beat or, you guys just collab, you guys just rock together, like, money's not really a situation with y'all. Yeah. Is it like that, or is it like,
So, I mean, like I said, I'm still a new member to the team, so I think I need to learn a little bit more about, like, the way they move. But yeah, from the way it like kind of goes is like, we're a team, so if we have something to bring to the table, we're gonna bring it in order to help everyone move forward wherever their path may be, whether they're the producer, the artist, or the videographer. So I think it's a good opportunity in doing that, but I think I still have to learn a little bit more about how it's gonna go. But either way, I think it's a really good opportunity no matter what. But there's always gonna be, like, I think details and information that should always be discussed when, like, collaborating. You always want to talk about, like, who's getting the percentage of the publishing, who's getting the writing when you register the song, who's getting like the royalties and stuff like that. I'm sure that's discussed and stuff, like, because I mean, in the long run, it's like if you make a hit and then it's like if you didn't discuss that, now someone's being like, getting the short hand of the stick or whatever. Same goes with videos. I mean, I don't know how that works. Like sometimes it's free, but I think probably not. I think there's a lot of work that's put into that, and I think if you're not really like, pulling your side, like in the editing process or like in the storyboarding, whatever it may be, I think there just comes with costs or not.
Well, Terrence, Mr. Active Attractive did a song with Arsenal, and it was funny because I was like, I lined that up between them. Yeah. And then I told Terrence, Mr. Active Attractive, I was like, yo, watch this. I guarantee you do a song with Arsenal, he's going to pull a video out of it. You're going to get a free video basically out of the collab with him. She not when we hear Arsenal was like, you want to just shoot a video? And like, pulled out his camera and like shot a video right here in the studio.
You guys shot a video here?
Yeah, I'll show you after.
Yeah.
Like, they shot a video right here.
When's the song dropping?
They already dropped the song, Arsenal and Terrence.
Oh shit!
They,
I'll have to check that out.
It's a minute ago, but yeah, they shot it right here, and like that's what it showed me is like that's what was crazy about, you know, the whole underdogs movement is like they're real unique and like the videos you could tell right now like, oh, that's an underdog, like how the kind of movement is, how the scene is.
Yeah.
So like joining the team like that, congrats, because people don't even know like.
Definitely.
You know, what an add-on you are to them and like how much the underdogs even mean.
Yeah.
At the moment, what do you think about the whole Central Coast like culture right now? Like the whole scene. Do you think it's like starting to develop, or you think you know we have too much haters out here? Like, how do you feel about it?
I honestly, it's a lot of love out here. I think, from what I'm seeing. I mean, like I was talking about earlier, you know, there's a lot of different groups out here. You know, you got like Fast Money Mafia out in Salinas. I think they're growing, and they're doing a lot of stuff that I've seen for their community as well, which I think is dope. You know, you have over the hill, you got the underdogs. You know, that's kind of like more in the Los Baños area, I think, like Modesto, if I'm mistaken. And then you kind of got like people like in like Santa Cruz, Watsonville. You got like Cabuas and me, and Cabuas has got his own team. And I got my own team. So I think in terms of the Central Coast, I mean, I'm probably definitely overlooking a couple artists. You know, you got my homies actually, you got Diz and Rose out in San Jose. So now we're talking like San Jose, Santa Cruz, Watsonville, Los Baños, Salinas, and Monterey. In terms of everyone that does something out here. It's not even just like, because at the end of the day, there's just so many different factors that come into this music industry. You know, you got your engineers, you got the producers, you got the artists, you got the videographers, and you also need a director, you know, or if they're doing both.
They always miss out. See, there's a sixth missing part too, is the marketing. They do all that and they spend all that money and they're like, let's hope that people watch this.
Yeah, you got so many people in this like this industry. So when we look at it as a whole and we're talking about the Central Coast Valley, I think from my perspective, it's just bound to grow. Like I was just like talking about all the different creatives out here that are doing that, and down to the engineer, to the videographers, to the producers. Having all those people is only gonna build it more, and it's because it's not just the artists, and you know, it's all the people that are making this possible to like be seen.
Yeah.
Because people like to be stimulated, you know, through visual. You know, like sound is one thing, and also like you said, marketing, like word of mouth. Who's listening? Who's spreading to what cities? You know, like, you know, backtracking to that question, it's just bound to grow. You know, it's definitely going to be one of those things that is a booming thing for sure in this area, because right now, you know, we see a lot of Bizzler, you know, posting Bay Area artists, which is dope and all, but I think they're working on like, you know, covering that Central Coast ground, but right now you got like that northern, you got the southern, and then you got the central, and I feel like Central Coast also, you know, your brand and your company is doing a really good job of covering that middle ground that is overlooked, but soon enough is going to be, you know, just as well as big in the names as the northern and the southern.
That's the goal, at least. That's the goal.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen eventually, because right now, the scene's popping off. Water's all coming out of different places. Oops, I shook the camera. But, man, I really appreciate you coming through today. And, man, I'm excited to hear some new music come out of you and some new videos. Like, shit, joining the underdogs. Shout out them. Shout out Arso, Iron Chef Weeze, all of them. Like, man, I'm excited to see what y'all going to do with DannyV. Let's get it. Watsonville Native right here. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
You have a good day, boss.
All right, man.